In this video, I'm going to walk you through how to set up a multi-format match play event. Based on the interest in this type of scoring format, you've all seen the Ryder Cup. It's a team event that pits golfers against each other in a variety of different formats. Winning a match earns your team a point. Tying a match earns your team half a point. Within PlayThru, you can now set up a multi-format match play event and track team points across up to 6 rounds. Set up each round with a different scoring format, including foursomes, 4-ball, and individual matches. Let's get started. All right, so to create a multi-format match play event, first thing we're going to do is hit the create event button, and we'll call this multi-format demo and hit create. So the first thing you're going to want to do is set up your first round. Get it completely set up, because when you create and add additional rounds to your event, it's just going to copy the first one every time you add a new round. So if that one is in good shape, then your job becomes a lot easier as you add additional rounds. So what we're going to do is come through here, set up what the event date is, select the format. So the first one I'm going to select here is I'm going to play a 4-ball event. So I'm going to select 2-person best ball, and we're going to turn this over to match. And now some of the features are going to disappear, and that's by design because they are irrelevant in match play events. So we got our 2-person best ball, we got our match play event, and we can assign handicaps. And the important part here is you're going to want to turn on team competition. This will give you the ability to assign teams to individual golfers. So we're all set up here, nothing else to do. Go to the course tab, and this is where you're going to add in your pars and handicaps for the tees you're playing for the different rounds. If you're playing multiple courses, you'll see here in a second, once we add additional rounds, you have the ability to add different tees for each round. So in this case, I'm just going to type in some information here, dummy data here. Okay. And I can add as many tee boxes as I want for this specific event. Now, next step is to go over to the golfers tab. And this is where you're going to add in your golfers. Now, you can add them one at a time by typing in names here or hitting this add golfer option right there. But I'm going to delete that for this second, and I'm going to go through the import. So if I go over to import and I choose a file, so I want the 4-ball version, I'm going to select that. And as long as your column headers line up with the column headers here, everything should funnel into the right spots. So I'm going to hit upload. And now I've got all my 2-ball best ball team names here. These are the golfers. And then over here on the right, I've got the team competition name and the opponent. Now I'm going to set this up for this specific event. So in this case, I'm going to have 2 teams. We're going to call them parents and kids. All right. So we'll just add those here. So now I've set up all my teams for the competition. You can have as many teams as you need. In this case, we're just going to have 2 teams, and these teams are going to be added to each of the rounds when we create those. So the next step here is to assign opponents for the matchups. So I've got my 2-ball best ball team, and on the right here under select team opponent, you're going to see a list of all the names that show up on this side. So in this case, I want Tom and Ashley to play against Avery and Emmy. So I'm going to select that. And the system will refresh, and everybody who is associated with each of these 2-ball best ball teams will be updated over here. So I'll add in the rest of these. Okay, so now all my opponents are set up. All my team competition names are set up. This one is good to go. I've got all my handicaps listed there. I can select from the tee boxes right here. So the next step here is, because we're doing a multi-format or multi-round game, we've got to come over to the upgrade tab, and you're going to have to upgrade to the multi-round scoring feature and then hit checkout. And this will take you over to Stripe to do the checkout process. So we'll do that, and then we'll come back and set up the rest of the event. Okay, so I've set up the event and I've upgraded it to the multi-round scoring feature. So now you can see here back on the dashboard, I've got the name of my event, but also there's a round 1. And you have the option to add multiple or add rounds here. So I can click this and confirm, and now I will have another round added to my event. And if I jump back in here, what you'll see is we've got multiple rounds up here with the ability to add more there. But I've also, under game format, I've got the ability to change between the different formats. So say, for example, round 2, I want to have it as an alternate shot. So I want to play foursomes. So I'm going to change that. Again, everything stays the same in terms of match play, handicap, team competition. All of that's already set up. Under the course tab, I've got my round 1 tees, but I also now have round 2 tees. And you can add as many round 2 tees as you need. And then going over to the golfers tab. So this is the main difference here. So in the golfers tab, I can see here, I'm editing round 1 golfers, and I can see what format that round 1 is. So this looks exactly how I had set it up previously, but now I can switch over to round 2. And in this case, I can come through and you can see I've copied over everything from the previous round, but I don't want this format for this round. So I'm going to delete all of these golfers here. And I'm going to go back to my import. And in this case, because it's a alternate shot, it's kind of like a scramble type event, I need to have scramble team as part of the import. And I'll choose my file, alternate shot, select that, upload golfers. So now I've got my team names here, and I have to set up the team components. So in this case, Avery and Emmy, they are kids. Dan and Rose are parents. And I'll set the rest of this up real quick. Okay, so team competitions are set up again, and these need to match exactly what I set up in the first round. Because if there's any difference, it's going to split them up into 2 different groupings, or the team leaderboard is going to look a little different. And now I'm going to set up my matches. So in this case, Avery and Emmy are going to play Tom and Ash. And now all my matches are set up. So round 2 is now good to go. Because this is a scramble event, the handicaps can be left blank. We don't need them. And now we'll add one more round. Right here. So now you've got round 3, jump back in here. And we're going to change this one to be individual. So now these are all going to be individual matches. Again, now you've got the option to add tees for round 3 and the golfers. Because it copied over that first event, all of round 3 will have the same golfers added to it. So there's really not much I need to do to change here because all the individual golfers have already been added. In addition, the teams are already copied over. So Ashley, Dan, all of these are associated with parents versus the kids. So all I have to do now is set up the matches. So I'll go through and do that real quick. Okay, so all my individual matches and all my team competition, everything is set up. Now, an important note about match play events. Everyone here has an assigned handicap, and this handicap is their handicap index. So, but in a match play event, match handicaps are handled a little bit differently. So let's take Keith and Lily here. So Keith is a 1 handicap, Lily is a 5. In a match play event, the best golfer, the golfer with the lowest handicap, plays as a scratch golfer, and their opponent has that number of strokes removed from their handicap. So in this case, in a match between Keith and Lily, Keith is going to play as a 0 handicap, and Lily will play as a 4. That way, Lily gets strokes on the hardest holes in comparison to Keith and how he's playing. So the best golfer won't get any handicap strokes throughout the entire match. If I go over to the scorecard, we have PlayThru set up to make sure that everything is set up properly for your match to ensure the scoring is done correct. So in this case, I am missing a team name from one of the events or one of the rounds. So I'm going to go back over to my golfers tab and just take a look. And I can see here, I'm missing a team name here. So we'll just add team name there. Just give it a quick check. Actually, if we just go over to scorecard tab, it'll let us know. Okay, that was the only issue that it found. So now you're going to share this one link with everybody. They're going to open it up on any mobile browser, select the round they're playing, and start entering scores. All right, now if I open up the scorecard, the first thing I'm going to be asked is, what round am I playing? If I play this first round, I'm going to select that button. Scorecard is going to load. And then I'm going to select the golfers that I'm keeping score for. So for round 1, I'm playing with Keith, Lily, Logan, and Michelle. So I'm going to hit tee off. Only one person needs to keep score for the foursome. And now you'll see on the scorecard, the name of everyone you're keeping score for, their gross score, along with the match handicap that they're playing in. So in this case, we're playing a 4-ball format. So Keith and Michelle are on the same team. Lily and Logan are on the same team. But in this case, Keith has the best handicap, so he's playing at a 0. Michelle has the next, but she's playing as a 2, Lily a 4, Logan a 6. And if I scroll down here, I can see the match score, or I can click over at any point and see the full live leaderboard. After the round has been completed, this is what the leaderboard will look like. At the bottom, you've got your individual matches, and you can see who won each match. And then above that will be the team leaderboard. So this is every team that won and the points associated with them. So in this case, Tom and Ashley, who are associated with the parents team, and Dan and Rose, who are associated with the parents team, each earned their team 1 point. And in this case, Lily and Logan won their team, kids team, 1 point. So an important thing to note about the leaderboard for the multi-format scoring and match play, the team scores will be a collective total of points won across all the 3 rounds. The individual matches will only be specific for that round. So in this case, we're in round 1, so the individual matches are for round 1. If we're in round 2, it'll be round 2 matches. But the team leaderboard will always reflect all the rounds combined